back at it. I'm live again. I had to get off and then come back on. So y'all just come on through. Join me on my little car ride as we have a conversation about this whole Asian Lives Matter ordeal. The articles that you all keep sending me on Instagram and Facebook that y'all want me to watch. So I'm going to have this conversation about Asian lives. And does it matter? Does it matter? Y'all gotta just bear with me. Don't worry, I'm being safe, but just bear with me because I am in New York. And y'all know I'm a New Yorker, so I gotta be able to drive like a New Yorker because New Yorkers are disrespectful. I can't be having an OG hat on, being more relaxed. I gotta run these people off the road too, because if not, you know, New Yorkers are just downright disrespectful. And I know it, I'm a disrespectful driver too, I get it. But I wanna be able to say this to you guys from the articles I've been receiving. Now, first of all, let me just give my respects, right? Because I don't hate anybody. It's not in my blood to hate anybody. There might be some people I dislike, right? But in terms of a whole entire group of people, I don't hate anybody. It's just some things I'm just not going to tolerate. So I want to say this, that with respect to what's going on with the Asian Americans, it's unfortunate that they are experiencing some attacks of hate, bigotry, discrimination. The list goes on. And I'm not being insensitive. I'm really saying this. It's unfortunate that that's happening to some Asians and some Asian Americans. It's unfortunate. And I'm all for anybody who feels that they are discriminated against. I'm all for people speaking up and speaking out. I'm all for people standing up for what their rights are in this country. I'm all for it. What I'm not for, let me make this very clear. I want y'all to hear me clearly. Do not misunderstand me. What I'm not for is whenever a so-called minority group gets targeted for whatever reason, that they want us, our community, to automatically stand for them in protest. Now, listen to what I'm saying first. I don't want you to misunderstand, because some people might say, well, you know, I've seen Asians protest hate and discrimination against black people. I've seen, you know, Hispanics stand up for black people. Like, a lot of people always like to point out the 10, 15, 20 people that they have seen, and they like to make it applicable to a whole entire community of people. And so we already know, living in this skin, we already know, living this life as a black man, black woman, we already know that there are going to be a select few that stand with us, but by large, we are pretty much on our own, right? We're pretty much on our own. People may sympathize with what we're going through. People may feel bad about their close associates, their close acquaintances, and in some cases, their close friends who are experiencing what they are experiencing when it comes to hate directed toward our community. But by and large, let's just have a conversation that, you know, some people in my position don't want to have this conversation, but fuck them. I'm just being honest with you. At the end of the day, and when I say fuck them, I'm talking about fuck the people who don't want to have the conversation. At the end of the day, when we look at the numbers as a whole, on a macro level, our community stands alone. I don't care what people feel when they look to their left or to their right and they have an acquaintance that might say, I stand with you, brother, I stand with you, sister, whatever the case is. But for the most part, let's just be honest with each other, we stand alone. So I want to make that very clear. I do not wish for any Asians to get their head busted open or to be attacked simply because they are Asian. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with discrimination, bigotry, racism, whatsoever. I don't agree with it. But I am going to say this. It is not our community's responsibility to take on the burden. And I know a lot of people like to say a lot of dumb shit, in my opinion, when it comes to our community. When we say things like this, it's not our job to take on the burden. A lot of people like to say, well, that doesn't solve anything. We all have to stand together. We all have to be in solidarity. This is a common enemy that we have. This is white terrorism. This is white supremacy. This is racism. We all have to stand together. That sounds good. That sounds all good and dandy. People like to hear themselves speak. They like to say this shit, and that's not the life that they live. Right? They like to say a lot of this stuff to try to put the spotlight on us when we're not standing up, allegedly. When we're not speaking out against it. When we're not changing our pictures on social media and put in Asian Lives Matter. When we're not posting a whole bunch of things about Asian lives mattering. People always like to say that when we say this is not our fight, that's wrong. We shouldn't think that way. We shouldn't act like that. And we have to really stand up for each other because we're all in this together against a common enemy. That's not true. That's not true. Is it racism? Yes, it is. Is it discrimination? Yes, it is. Is it racial bias? Yes, it is. Is it bigotry and prejudice? Yes, it is. Is it terrorism? Yes, it is. Is it violence? Yes, it is. I don't take anything away from that. But is it our responsibility? And this is what they would say. When I say, is it our responsibility? This is what people, especially people in my position, they'll come back toward me. See, they don't like to debate with me. But their come back toward me always is, it is all of our responsibility to stand up and support each other. But the same people that say that bullshit to me, and it shouldn't be bullshit. Let me be honest with y'all. This is not going to be a nice video, as y'all can see. I'm on my New York shit. I gotta be able to put on my New York hat when I'm in New York, because people like to act stupid, and some people need to get fucking smacked in New York. I just listen. I'm just telling y'all like it is. I gotta be on my New York shit when I'm in New York. Take it or leave it. This is just me. As I was saying, here's the reason why I think it's bullshit. Because the same people that talk that talk and talk that good stuff, those are the same people who do not stand up for Black lives. I'm just being honest. And I'm usually the one that's in the cut. I'm usually one that's just listening. I'm just watching. I'm just listening. And it's the same people that talk that fly shit. When you go to their page, you don't see nothing about Black lives. When you're going through something, they don't check on you. They can sit next to you at work, in school, in the office, in your neighborhood, in your building, in the supermarket. They could be with you every day. They can know you by name. They can know you by face. They can converse with you every day. But at the end of the day, with the shit that's happening, no one really comes up to your ass and asks you if you're good. How do you feel? No one comes up to you and checks on you. Everybody says, oh, I got white friends, whatever. Because none of my white acquaintances has texted me or called me and say, yo, Shonna, you good? No one has ever said that shit to me. No one has ever said that shit to me. And that's why I hate fakeness. I hate people that get out there and they say shit like it, especially when I say, yo, I'm tight right now because I'm so tired of our people who are so-called advocates and fighters for our justice. I'm tired of getting these kind of inboxes from those clowns that says, sis, we got to stand up against this. As social workers, it is our duty to be the voice of the voiceless. It is our duty to stand up and fight and be the advocates for those who are disenfranchised, those who are less fortunate, those who are oppressed. Y'all see I stop right there for a second, right? Y'all see I stop right there for just a second. This street is gonna fuck up my rims. That is annoying. I hate New York. And this one here with a Poppy Willie. What are you doing? Get out of the street, dude. Come on. As I was saying, I really do hate that. I hate when people say that because, let's be honest. I'm going to have to make this illegal U-turn. Oh, God. You got to be really aggressive in this city. It's disgusting. But anyways, I was saying, the people that say that send me those inboxes and want me to spread the word and stand up, I'm like, no, fuck you. Do I say that to them verbally? No, I don't. But that's the attitude I have when I don't stand up, because listen, I'm so sick and tired of people expecting our community to stand up and be everybody's shield. And we are fucked over every day, every single day, right? Every single day. And they think that they're doing something because there was a nice little movement, which I don't agree with the organization in and of itself, Black Lives Matter. There's a nice little movement that, those people have having to cop some money, and out of getting that money, they were able to make that movement go global across the world because of the money, right? But what has it really done for us? What has this really done for us? All the money that was collected for Black Lives Matter from that organization, how has that helped our community? And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being transparent and honest. Like, how has that helped our community? So let's get back to this Asian Lives Matter. For the record, Asian lives do matter. Absolutely. Listen, if they can get a global thing going, maybe George Soros can give them some money, I don't know. But if they can get a global thing going, I say do it, right? I say stand up and do it. Like, get in the street and protest and fight white supremacy. Get in the face of white supremacy and push back. I say do it. If you don't like the fact that you're not represented in government agencies as employees and you want more pay in government agencies, I don't think that that's what they're fighting for, to be honest with you. But I'm just saying, I say do it. Go out there and do it. If you feel that you're discriminated against, if you are discriminated against when you go to buy cars, or you go to rent an apartment, or buy a house or get a mortgage, if you feel your community is discriminated against, fuck it, fight, right? Go and protest, make some noise. Just don't come beat up on my community because we're not making noise for you. Listen to what I'm saying. Right? I'm just saying, listen to what I'm saying, because I know it's always going to be two people. It's always going to be two people who just want to argue just for the sake of arguing. If you're not getting what you need from America, and you feel that America is oppressing your community, and you feel that America holds your community back from advancing, and you feel that America has systematically disenfranchised your community in the educational system, in the financial system, in the health system, whatever system, if you feel that America is hurting your community, I don't care if you're Asian, I don't care if you're Southeast Asian, I don't care if you're from North Africa and Middle East, I don't care. You name any of the people of color, name any of them. If you feel that way, you should stand up and fight. I'm with that 100%. I mean, you should stand up and fight without a doubt. Make some noise. Get some signs. You know what I'm saying? Catch a couple of bullets from the cops. Get your name on a blog. I mean, shit, take the load off of us for just a moment. And I know people are going to say, well, because we've been through that, we should have some sympathy and stand with them. No, we have empathy. We have empathy, right? And what I mean by that when I say we have empathy is we truly understand what you might be experiencing. We truly understand how it feels to be discriminated against. We truly understand how it feels for somebody to punch you in your face just because you're Asian. We truly understand how it feels to be looked at and called names, whatever derogatory names you're being called. We truly understand how that feels like, because that's our life every day. Of course we understand it. Of course, without a doubt. But Do you really stand up for us? Give me 1 second. Hey, I'm live. Where I'm going to park my car because I don't want to drive.
Because I'm parked over there. I want to use my spot.
Where you parked at?
Over between 145 146.
All right, you can come in, but I'm on live. Just so you can know.
Let's go around.
And I don't want to hear your opinion because you know I have my opinions. You can fix the seat. My son was sitting right there.
Okay.
As I'm finished talking to my audience, I'm about to get off of here, family. But I'm going to say this. We truly understand what it feels like, that what Asian people are going through. But I'm sorry. I live in an Asian community. Over 60% of my community is Asian. Whether they're Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Taiwanese, it doesn't matter. I live in an Asian community. And listen, a lot of them are straight disrespectful. I'm just telling you the truth. A lot of them are straight disrespectful. Straight disrespectful. So I find it really hard to believe these stupid articles that are being put out there, speaking of the solidarity or the history with Asians and blacks standing together. Listen, family, y'all believe whatever y'all want to believe. Y'all like me to pull some research receipts and give y'all the links, I'll do that shit. So I don't agree with it, and it's not rooted in hard science or hard evidence. Social science is what I mean, or hard evidence. Is not rooted in that whatsoever. But you already know how propaganda works. When they want to push something out, they're going to say and write whatever they want to say and write about. But here's the one thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to be out of here. Now, is it really that hot, babe? Is it really that hot? Should I have worn some pom-pom shorts? Come out here. I'm telling you, Harlem girls are out of control. No offense to all my Harlem viewers. I know y'all asses are out of control. Harlem, y'all already know y'all do it up differently than we do. You know, I'm from the Bronx and we do it up differently. Go straight. All right. So what I'm going to say to you is this. Even though it's terrible what's happening to the Asian Americans, I want some of y'all spineless black people to take note. Now, notice what I said, the spineless blacks. I know it's not all of us, but the spineless blacks. I want y'all to take note. Because here's something that Asian people know that we ought to know, we talk about, but we don't do. Now, some of y'all gonna be surprised, but the people who are with it, the people who are putting a B1 in the chat, y'all already know. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. So the granny in San Francisco, y'all saw that article where white boy punched in her face, blah, blacked her eye, making it right? Blacked her eye, caused her eye to bleed. To my understanding, her eye was bleeding for a few days. But what did that grandma do? She was 76 years old. What did she do that you people don't do? Do y'all remember? Somebody said $600,000 was donated to her for her medical from the GoFundMe, right? But here's what she did. She picked up a stick and she beat his ass. That's right. Somebody said she fought back. She picked up a stick and she beat his ass. And see, what some of y'all do, y'all get discriminated against. Y'all get hit on. I see it. Y'all get discriminated against. Y'all get hit on and you don't fight back. You want to go get your little lawyer. What's the lawyer? What's the guy? I call him the guagua lawyer. Y'all know the guagua buses where you pay $1 and you get on a bus and they take you wherever you need to go. I don't know if you have that in this city, but in New York we have the guagua buses. In Jersey we have the guagua buses. This is what I call those attorneys. They pick up a whole bunch of you guys so they can get some petty money, and you don't really fight back. You just want your little bit of money, so your community continuously gets disrespected. Your grandmother gets disrespected. I'm gonna back up, but this is you, right? You're gonna back up, babe. You're gonna make me run you over. Switching parking spots. But anyways, I was saying, she fought back, whereas we don't typically fight back. And that is something that we absolutely have to start doing. She fought these people back. See, I knew that was going to happen. I told him that was going to happen. Now I'm going to have to get really aggressive. See, y'all got to understand, in New York, you got to have a strategy to take the next parking spot. Because people do dumb shit. Like they try to just squeeze through your parking when they know that the next person's supposed to get in there. And then you got to argue. But you know what, ladies? You got to just know how to just let your man tell you how to approach a situation, because you don't want to take his ego off or, you know, mess him up. I knew I was right, but I'm gonna go ahead and let him figure it out. He's doing a lot of different maneuvers. Now I gotta be aggressive. Babe, don't beat me. So here we go. Here we go. It worked out. He had to do all that extra nonsense. But anyway, so that's the one takeaway I have from the Asian situation. Fight back. Do like they do. If you see these articles, these jokers are getting guns. They're all picking up guns out of the stores. Have y'all seen it? They're getting their guns. They're arming themselves. They're all standing up. They're calling for unity, for all of them to unite. They have their own social media site, okay? And on their social media site, they're all asking to unite, everyone unite and fight back. That's what they're saying. Weibo, I think that's the name of their site, Weibo. They're saying to unite and to fight back, right? But yet, if we tell each other to unite and fight back, you have some of us saying that that's not the answer. That's not the way. That's the thing. Thank you, babe. I must be finished. But if that's what we tell our people, we tell them to unite and to fight back and to arm yourself. Want me to take the case off? Let me see. All right. Thank you, babe. What is that? We're going to put that. Oh, you're so sweet. You're awesome. But I don't think that's going to last like that. I know you want me to use this, but that's going to slide. That's not going to be good. I'm going to take it off. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. I am going to hold it just for a little bit. I'm not going to be on long. I promise you. Huh? Okay. But anyways, I was saying, if we tell each other to fight back, and if we tell each other to arm yourselves, if we tell each other to stand together and let these people have it, if they come after you, bust their teeth out, if we say that, we're wrong. We're teaching hate and violence. That's not that's not the answer. We shouldn't go that way, right? We have to pray. We have to trust God, right? So at the end of the day, family, as I get off this live, here's my takeaway. This should be a clear sign how passive we are as a community of people. I don't care what part of the African diaspora you're in. We are some passive ass people. We always want to take the high road. And here it is, centuries later, we're still disrespected. So I say shout out to the Asian community. This is where I stand with you at, 100%. Fight back. I stand with you. Listen, just like how you bust some caps and our asses in California. Remember that, y'all, in the 90s? Well, we didn't do nothing to them. That Asian lady shot one of us, a 15-year-old girl who was buying juice, in the back of her head. And yes, we tore up LA. We tore up Los Angeles. Of course we did, absolutely. But that lady walked with a $500 fine. She walked off and left a community devastated. Our community devastated. So there's one thing I have learned. Well, I've learned a couple of things from their community. But another thing I have learned from their community is they fight back. They fight back. So even though this is unfortunate that it's happened in their community, even though it's something that should not be going on at all, especially in 2021, we really should not be experiencing this shit, especially in America. But we already know what America is built on: racism and bloodshed. We already know that, and violence. The only way you get America to stop being violent toward those of us they try to oppress is by shedding their goddamn blood. And I'm not trying to be funny. She bust him up and sent him to the hospital. She may have had a busted eye, but I bet you he gonna think twice again. He gonna think twice again. I bet you that. That's one thing I would say. Damn the high road. I'm not taking the high road. You better watch it. You better watch it. So when we tell you certain things about getting your gun license, getting strapped, make sure you do it appropriately, because some of y'all don't need to have no guns, no how, because y'all derelicts. I love my community, but we gotta tell the truth. Some of y'all just do dumb. Listen, we just telling the truth. But everyone should have a right to bear arms. Everyone should have a right to fight back in self-defense. If somebody busts you in the eye and you stand there and you do nothing, they're gonna bust you in the eye again. It's just as simple as that. And maybe that's my New York attitude. Maybe because that's where I was born and raised. I don't know. But I just know my mother taught me, somebody hits you, you hit back. And then let me deal with everything later. So that's the same thing I teach my children. That's the same thing I'm telling you guys. If we ain't learning nothing else from the Asian community, they getting ready. Those jokers, the young ones and the old ones, they are all ready. This is a 76-year. How many of y'all 76-year-old? My grandma's 95. Right? So I got to say, how many of y'all grandmas who are 76 and older fight back? If your grandmother got punched in the face right now, is she prepared to protect herself? If your grandmother got punched in the face right now, is she swift enough to act on defense? You got to ask yourself, how come this lady was so swift to act on defense? You got to ask yourself that. She should not have experienced what she experienced, but how come she, like this, she fought back, automatic, like a light switch. Boom, fight back, boom. You got to really ask yourself, why was she prepared to do that? She wasn't carrying the stick. She picked up a stick when she saw it in her sight, and she fought back. Ask yourself that. Have we been desensitized? We're just really not ready. We just really are not ready. Somebody said we need to know how to defend ourselves. I totally agree with you. All this, we know how to defend ourselves toward each other. I bet you somebody that looked like you popped off on you, you'd be ready to pop back. You'd be ready to pop back. But if somebody outside of your racial group popped off on you, are you ready to pop back? Are you going to pray about it? Y'all some praying asses. Y'all just going to pray about it, and y'all going to say, let God handle it. Y'all been telling God to handle this thing for 500 years. 500 years. I think God is saying, I got you, but you got to fight back. That's what I think God is saying. I got you, but you got to fight back. Right? Don't be scared. Don't be like it's grasshoppers in the land. Oh, they're so bigger than us. Oh, they're so stronger than us. Oh, this, oh, that. I think y'all got to be ready to fight back. So anyway, let me get out of here, beloved. We're going on our afternoon date. Speak to y'all soon. Have a great one.